I think she knew she wasn't going to win. That she might not come out alive. But she also knew she was the only one that could try.
So she did.
Maybe we should too.
Yeah, we should.
Unlike many outspoken RWBY commentators, I did not grow alongside the show. I got turned on to it around 2017 because a friend of a friend dressed as Ruby Rose for Halloween, and I was not a fan. Coming back out of curiosity around 2022, though, RWBY quickly became one of my favorite pieces of media ever. Not because it's some perfect gem, but because it's got such great highs and lows that it becomes so interesting to talk about. Yes, there's a lot of scenes that feel cheap, shallow, or outright stupid, but RWBY shows itself fully capable of bringing us joy or distraught. It can break our hearts or elevate us. We're left cheering for our favorite characters, and just as easily we're torn apart at their failings. It was very sad when Rooster Teeth had to shut down and left RWBY not going out with a bang, but a shill. So I was pleasantly surprised when I came across the One Magical Scene series as part of the Summer of RWBY. It did take me a while to pick something to talk about, especially since my favorite scene was already taken. So I chose something a little more somber. Every one of our heroes has just learned that Salem, the source of what they've been fighting against this whole time, is immortal. While Team RWBY has found the proper courage to continue their mission, the others struggle to find any reason for their seemingly fruitless efforts. In Jean's rage, he antagonizes Oscar, causing him to run off. Jean, Nora, and Ren go looking for Oscar. Nora and Ren take a break at a cafe to warm themselves from the cold, but Jean stays behind. Throughout the search, we can see the anguish on Jean's face. He's been borderline suicidal for the past 2 volumes. He's restless at night with his regrets over Pyrrha.
Don't forget to keep your front foot forward. Ready? Go. Again. And again. Okay. Now, assuming you aren't cheating, we can take a break.
No, Pyrrha, you can't. You saw how powerful she is. Pyrrha, I won't let you do...
I'm sorry.
And he shows a little regard for his own safety in Volume 5.
If I die buying them time, then it's worth it. They're the ones that matter.
Already a heavy burden, worsened by the fact that he's just driven away a teammate that needs support now more than ever. And so, Jean sits, overwhelmed and defeated. An out-of-place auburn leaf blows in from the side and a piano melody begins. Jean curiously gets up and follows it almost hypnotically. Something out of our view stuns Jean. We're left wondering what that could have been before.
Once, like a dream, you looked at me, and everything felt new.
The side of the statue, built in Pyrrha's honor, tears open our once-healed wounds and leaves us vulnerable. In the same moment, we're brought comfort from Casey Lee Williams singing. Like Jean, we're left to bask in our shock. And as he turns away,
It's really beautiful, isn't it?
You're my forever.
Why here?
She trained here. Sanctum Academy. Everyone was crushed when she chose Beacon over Haven. No one wanted to see her go, but it was where she wanted to be. I'm just glad she was surrounded by such amazing people.
She should be standing here.
She is. She understood that she had a responsibility to try. I don't think she would regret her choice, because a huntress would understand that there really wasn't a choice to make. And a huntress is what she always wanted to be.
When Pyrrha was killed fighting Cinder, she knew she couldn't win. Even as the best student at Beacon, she stood no chance against the power of a maiden alone. But it never was her goal to defeat Cinder, only to buy enough time so someone could come to help, to save anyone she could, as any huntress, any hero would.
Pyrrha never got the chance to graduate, but she was a huntress.
Thank you.
John?
John, why did you...
I'm sorry. I've been a terrible leader. And a terrible friend, and I...
John, this has to stop.
We heard what you said to Cinder at Haven. You're not being fair to yourself. We love you, just like we loved Pyrrha. We're teammates. Family.
We don't want to lose you two.
Pyrrha may not be by our side anymore, but we can fight like she is.
And in a way, she will be.
We should check back in at the house. Come on.
Thank you.
This scene beautifully turns a tragedy into a source of inspiration. Pyrrha's death was a serious turning point for RWBY. The sheer tonal shift alone ended up driving many away from the show, but because of that, we're able to reflect on the previous seasons in a new light. By looking back on how their late team member might have seen their situation, there's a huge sense of closure by giving the rest of Team Juniper this newfound motivation against an unkillable opponent. Some of the more musically inclined may notice that this scene, and most scenes surrounding Jean and Pyrrha, use the same motif in the same key.
You're my forever.
Those same few notes bring a nice form of poetry by reminding us of everything the two have been through. I even used the same trick for this video. Forever Fall already being a very beautiful piece, seriously, go listen to it and try not to get emotional about it, and happening to be in this masterful scene really accentuates just how much great work Jeff Williams and his daughter Casey Lee brought to the series. The weight of the world is often very crushing. There is so much chaos that it easily overwhelms us. But we're reminded in this that there will always be those willing to stand up to oppressors. And maybe even when it seems hopeless, we ought to be those people. Hey there, if you made it this far into the video, thank you for listening to my rambling for this long. In case this does end up tracking more people, I just want to preface that this will not be a RWBY channel. That might seem a little deceptive since I've already mentioned how much I love talking about RWBY, and the only other video on the channel right now is a crappy AMV for RWBY. But this channel mostly exists so I can improve on writing, editing, and even acting skills. I will most likely talk about more RWBY stuff in the future, but the next two videos I have planned for this are quite the polar opposites of what these last two were. So thank you again for watching, and hope to see you all in the next one.